Welcome to the International Icelandic Hill Rally. You're catching up on the second day of the event. 9 cars entered, 3 from the United Kingdom and the rest of them from Iceland. This year around we had 3 Land Rovers, 3 Jeep Cherokees and 3 different buggies. Who will handle the Icelandic stages best? On the second day, the long stages compiling of 2 stages almost 60 kilometers in length, and then the famous Gullfoss to Kaldalur, almost 50 kilometers. And on day 3, a 71 kilometer super stage, probably one of the longest stages in Icelandic rally history. And then 3 shorter stages in the afternoon. Now after day 1, Guðmundur Snorri Sigurðarson and Guðni Freyr Ómarsson led, which meant that they would go first into the day. The first stage of the day was a 60 kilometer special stage, and they had a time of 55 minutes and 37 seconds. Next up, Steinþór Ólafsson and Gauti Steinþórsson driving the Arctic Cat Wildcat XX. They started in 5th, so they had obviously overtaken many cars at this point, coming past our cameraman. Their time on the stage 1 hour 2 minutes and 56 seconds. The time was very good, but 100 meters before the end they rolled their buggy. However, they managed to continue. Next up, Daniel Sigurðarson and Ásta Sigurðardóttir. No sign of Bayliss and Murfin yet in the Land Rover. They started the stage second. However, Daniel's and Ásta's time 59:40, losing 4 minutes to Guðmundur and Guðni. Here we have Benjamin Clay and Rachel Clay. This is the Land Rover Tomcat. Their time 1 hour 1 minute and 29 seconds. The local knowledge obviously helping Daniel and Ásta in not as well-equipped machinery. Next up, Guðmundur Bragason and Bragi Guðmundsson. They were driving an Arctic Cat buggy. Now, some nice driving here from the father-son team. Their starting order was last place, however the time 56:55, losing 1 minute and 30 seconds. Next up, Kristinn Sveinsson and Heimir Snær Jónsson driving the Jeep Cherokee. They were having some brake issues at this time, and their time on the stage 1 hour and 51 seconds, losing a minute to Daniel Ásta in the standard Cherokee. Here we have Richard Williams and Matthew Lowe, the Land Rover Defender. They didn't quite have the speed in their standard Land Rover in these fast stages, and their time 1 hour 7 minutes 51 seconds, over 7 minutes off the pace. Now the troubles from day 1 continued for Jón Bjarni and Sæmundur. Their time 1 hour 15 minutes and 38 seconds, and probably one of the fastest rally jeeps in Iceland. But what happened to Phil Bayliss and Lance Murfin?
In basic terms, the wheel bearing failed, we think, and the whole of the axle end fell off.
Okay.
So we ended up with nothing there. Yeah, 3 wheels in, very soft sand. So the sand was halfway up the body. So we had to jack it and dig it, and then wait for our service crew to come back with the spares to fix it. So yeah, all part of the adventure.
All part of the adventure, and it's an adventure for Guðmundur and Guðni, who have a 4.5 minute lead on Daniel and Ásta. Guðmundur and Bragi in 3rd place. So we have a buggy, we have a Jeep, and we have a buggy. Now, next up, the 5th stage, 49 kilometers in length, and here we have Guðmundur Snorri Sigurðarson and Guðni Freyr Ómarsson getting a bit wet in the Can-Am Maverick XRC RR Turbo. Their time 42 minutes and 30 seconds, and the river crossing in the beginning of the stage, so everyone should pass us in there. Now Benjamin Clay and Rachel Clay in the Tomcat, their time 44 minutes and 14 seconds. This is more maybe a standard stage that used to be used for stage rallies, so not as rough. Next up, Daniel Sigurðarson and Ásta Sigurðardóttir, multiple Icelandic rally champions in the Jeep Cherokee. Their time 43 minutes and 27 seconds. Another impressive time for the siblings, considering that this car is unmodified mostly, but the Icelandic rally champions know these stages well. Now, Steinþór Ólafsson and Gauti Steinþórsson in the Arctic Cat. There's no signs of the damage after the roll on the last stage, and an amazing time here from a father-son crew, 41:54, fastest of all. Next up, Jón Bjarni Rolfsson and Sæmundur Sæmundsson. Now they're still just running in the rear-wheel drive, but however, now the transmission has started to leak as well. Their time 45 minutes and 39 seconds. Richard Wynne Williams and Matthew Lowe in the Land Rover Defender, their time 46:35. However, more pleasant for them to cross the river than the buggies. Co-drivers complaining of wet notebooks after the river. And here we have Guðmundur Bragason and Bragi Guðmundsson in the Arctic Cat. 43:02. The buggies obviously the quickest over this terrain, and now they are only 11 seconds behind Daniel and Ásta. Kristin and Heimir Snær had to retire due to a broken cooling fan. A quick fix once they had the spare parts, so they rejoined the next day. Next up, the 7th stage, a 68-kilometer stage, the longest stage of day 2. However, there was big drama. Where are Guðmundur Snorri and Guðni Freyr, the event leaders? This is Steinþór and Gauti, obviously driving well, given their starting position of 5th. And now we are at the end of the stage with a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. And next up, Guðmundur Bragason and Bragi Guðmundsson come through. They've overtaken the entire field apart from their teammates. Their time 1 hour, 5 minutes and 53 seconds. No sign of the leaders yet. Daniel and Ásta next up. Their time 1 hour, 11 minutes and 32 seconds. However, they lost 8 minutes and 30 seconds to Steinþór and Gauti, who now jump up to first place. Daniel and Ásta also lose a place to the other Arctic Cat of Guðmundur and Bragi. Next up, back on the page, Richard Wynne Williams and Matthew Lowe in the Land Rover. Their time 1 hour, 13 minutes and 25 seconds, and that's a solid time that sees them jump up to 4th overall, just behind Daniel and Ásta. After a long wait, finally Jón Bjarni and Sæmundur arrived, now with even more damage to the Jeep. Their time 1 hour, 31 minutes and 24 seconds. And I remind you that this car probably should be the fastest of the field if it was working properly. And the car that won the rally last year. And finally, Benjamin and Rachel Clay arrived with Guðmundur Snorri and Guðni Freyr in a tow rope behind. Benjamin and Clay lost about 40 minutes in this stage, and the disappointment is clear to see on Guðmundur and Guðni's faces after the buggy simply ran out of fuel. Incredible mistakes, which means they go from first to last in one stage.
We had a puncture about 10k in, so we changed it on the side of the road. Took us ages, but then we were just sweeping up the back then, and then saw Gummy on the side. So,
but that's really good sportsmanship to help him out.
Well, why not? You got to bring him in, haven't you?
He's learning how to read the gauge now.
Exactly. Well, good luck after the break.
Thank you very much.
Guðni, what happened to you in the last stage?
We run out of gas.
So no damage, just simple miscalculation.
Yeah, just that. Just our own mistake.
It's been going good. The first SS4, we had a little hiccup. 100 meters to the finish line, we had a rollover, but we ended at a good time, so it was nothing to worry about.
Did you land on the wheels, or did you have to go out?
No, we had to go out and race it ourselves. Yeah.
But no damage, or?
No, little, just a fender bender.
Yeah. Well, so plenty been going on, but you've been driving really, really fast.
Yeah, we've been going, we've been passing all the cars. We've been pretty much in first, always.
Been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
And you've been running usually first or second on the road, despite you starting way later. So the speed's been there.
Yeah, we start always latest, and we are with the first when we came to the mark. So.
And now this is your first hill rally. How does it compare? What were your expectations?
Yeah, this is fine and fantastic to take participate rally like this because we have all these notes and something like that. But I'm not used to use notes. We just try to read the roads.
Daniel, how's it been going this morning?
I'm shaken, not stirred.
So the Jeep, it hasn't been handling the bumps really well, or?
No, lack of suspension is understatement, I would say. But yeah, we set up the plan just to keep the wheels rolling and slow as fast in some conditions like these. So here we are, and we haven't put a spanner on the car, so that's more than most of others can say. So at least we're doing something right, but holy moly.
So how's it been going this morning?
Yeah, very good, very good. We've had a puncture on the first stage, but since then we're going okay. We're taking it a bit steadier over the rocks, try and prevent having punctures.
And of course it didn't start out really good yesterday.
No, we hit a rock yesterday and broke a shaft on it. So we're going up. We're just taking it a bit steadier today.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
But always increasing the speed and getting used to the stages.
Yeah, the stages are we've never driven anything like this before. The stages are fantastic. So.
And yeah, those are the kind of stages that these cars love, I would imagine.
I mean, this is only a production class car, so it's not overly powerful, but it's handling it well. It's good. Yeah.
It's good over the rocks.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Good luck in the next stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jón Bjarni, it's been lots of trouble this morning.
Oh yeah.
What's been hampering you guys?
A lot of things. First of all, the automatic is leaking a lot, so we have been like slowing down a lot because we don't have gear. The throttle cable was not working, so we really had to go very slow. And now the last stage we had a problem with the broken shock absorber and one arm.
Guðmundur Snorri and Guðni Freyr finished the final stage of the day, but when Guðmundur woke up for day 3, he was feeling very unwell and they decided to retire. A big shock, as they had been leading the rally up to their fuel issue. So now a new starting order after the lunch break. One stage left on day 2, a 58-kilometer stage 8. Steinþór and Gauti increased their advantage through the twisty bits, and the buggy obviously working well there. Guðmundur and Bragi, they lost another 30 seconds to Steinþór and Gauti, but increased the gap to third places. Daniel Násta up to 10 minutes. The Arctic Cats are now running away with the rally. Daniel Násta continued their safe driving. They're in the no man's land that is third place, 10 minutes behind second place and 20 minutes in front of fourth. Despite this stage 8 being long and rough, the standings didn't change at all. Wynne Williams and Lowe are still in fourth. Bayliss and Murfin restarted after the issues on Super Special 4. They are now 6th after all the penalties for missing the stages. It was just a matter of finishing the day for Jón Bjarni and Sæmundur, and hopefully they would get their car fixed for tomorrow's stages. Benjamin and Rachel Clay lost a lot of time in this stage and have fallen down to 7th place. Now let's look at the standings after 8 stages. Steinþór and Gauti have 1 minute and 51 second lead on Guðmundur and Bragi. Daniel Násta a further 9 minutes and 46 seconds back. The crews spent the night at Hrauneyjar in the Highlands Centre and got ready for another long and demanding day. The first stage was the longest, 67 kilometers. We are here near the end of the stage and there is big drama. Both Arctic buggies are not here yet, and Daniel and Ásta's time was 40 minutes and 44 seconds. Daniel and Ásta should have been running third. There's still no sign of the Arctic Cats. Wind Williams and Lowe were getting used to the Icelandic roads and drove this stage well. Their time 41 minutes and 58 seconds, only just over a minute behind the three-time rally champion. Next up, Jón Bjarni Rolfsson and Sæmundur Sæmundsson came around in the Jeep Cherokee. They used the night well and fixed most of the things that were slowing them down on day 1 and 2. But they still had some brake issues, which ended like this. They lost control, hit a rock, and that ripped the right rear wheel off and flipped the car on its roof. No major damage, just a broken axle, and they were able to continue after breakfast. Rough terrain around the stages. Now finally Steinþór and Gauti in the Arctic Cat, but they have lost 9 minutes to Daniel and Ásta, so now the gap between them is only 2 minutes with 3 stages to go. The Arctic Cat seems to be driving okay, so the father-son team should be able to hang on to the lead. They had just overtaken Benjamin and Rachel Clay, taking it steady to the finish. We asked Gauti what had gone wrong for them in the Arctic Cat on this stage.
It was okay. We had a bit of an engine problem. Our belt just failed and we had to replace it. It took about 2 minutes. Our tracker didn't work at all, so we had no idea where we were. So we kind of had a guess based off the GPS. But yeah, we also had a little fault with the tire situation, but overall, it was good.
And you managed to make it, so that's crucial.
Yeah, that's good.
And you're leading the race, so
yeah,
you need to keep up the pace.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to win the next round.
Daniel and Ásta probably took a bit of time out of you on this one, so you need to gain it back.
They're close behind. We're only like 5 minutes or something ahead of them, so it's going to be a good race.
Good luck in the next stage.
Thank you.
Now Kristinn Sveinsson and Heimir Snær Jónsson are back after the problems on day 2. These stages were a lot smoother than on day 2 and suited their Jeep very well. They had the second quickest time on Super Special 8. Bayliss and Murfin lost a bit of time to the Icelanders in here, understandably, as this stage has been used in the Icelandic Rally Championship for decades, so local knowledge comes to play. Now the standings after the 9th stage of the rally. Steinþór and Gauti with a 2 minute and 5 second lead on Daniel and Ásta. Wind Williams and Lowe pretty far behind, so it's really a duel between the two teams for the final 3 stages. After the breakfast in Hrauneyjar, the crews will tackle these final 3 stages a bit shorter. But what happened to the other Arctic Cat?
For headfucking, jama hlutin í bílnum.
Þannig að það þá búið í dag eða hvað?
Já, mér. Við vorum á toppnum og hættum þar. Það ekki best að hætta á toppnum.
Það best að hætta á toppnum.
Við vorum fremstir.
Bad luck for Guðmundur and Bragi, but their stricken buggy could be used for parts for Steinþór and Gauti after they damaged the suspension arm. They had to give everything on the 10th stage since they knew Daniel and Ásta knew these stages. Their time, 18 minutes and 10 seconds. Try as they might, Daniel and Ásta knew that they couldn't compete with buggy on pace and settled for 2nd place. Wind Williams and Lowe were still the same for them. Just get the car home in one piece. Despite the mistakes on day 1, they had a good margin to 4th place. Bayliss and Murfin ended the rally on a high with some good state times on the last stages. Benjamin Clay and Rachel Clay took it steady to the end. After all the time lost on day 2, they had no chance of a podium result. Kristen and Heimisnær were in last place after missing all those stages on day 2, but they were loving the fast and sandy stages on day 3. Jón Bjarni and Sæmundur managed to fix the Cherokee after the roll. There's just a little dent in the roof. However, fantastic driving from Steinþór and Gauti. They managed to drive fast and steady all the way to the end and win the International Icelandic Hill Rally. The father-son duo winning the rally on their first attempt. A special achievement for the duo. Daniel and Ásta come in second place, driving it steady towards the end.
How was the rally for you?
Oh, it's been extremely tough. Just marathon. It's just long days, long stages, and amazing scenery. You have to be very clever to get through it in one piece. We managed to get to the end. One piece is maybe not what I would say, but we are here and we are happy. It's an amazing rally, really. I recommend it highly.
And the roads, of course, you've driven most of these stages before, or parts of them. How are they for hill rallying?
Yes, well, for obviously you get a mix of normal stage rallying, sandy roads and fast and flowing, and then you really have rough paths on most of the stages, which you have to use your brain to get around. I would recommend a buggy if you can't hesitate and take it cautiously, but I cannot imagine any better stages to do for a hill rally. Definitely not.
Now Wynne Williams and Lowe, they come in third place, and that has to be a great result considering the bad start on the first day of the rally. Jón Bjarni and Sæmundur Sæmundsson, they never gave up and came in fourth place. Bayliss and Murfin finishing fifth after retiring on day 2. They were pretty happy with fifth. Next up, Benjamin Clay and Rachel Clay in sixth place, only 2 minutes behind Bayliss and Murfin, but got a good journey around Iceland. Kristinn Sveinsson and Heimir Snær Jónsson in 7th and last place of the finishers. However, they were very quick on the final day. Now, the final standings of the rally. Steinþór and Gauti win the rally with 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Wynne Williams and Lowe in third. The Icelandic International Hill Rally was a great success, and we hope to see you all back again next year.